Hello and welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. It is me and Zach today. Benji's off holidaying, but me and Zach are here and we're going to be talking about the woeful performance of England against South Africa in this test match. Apologies in advance. Zach is currently on hotel Wi-Fi. So
Premier Inn.
so his connection's probably going to be a little bit village, but hopefully the audio will be all right so you can track the conversation easy enough.
Getting a video out is more important, isn't it? Because
Exactly.
we've got viewers want to see it. So
exactly, and we love the viewers. First things first. Thank you so much for all the support. Again, continued support, and please like and subscribe. It's free, and if you decide that you hate us, then you can always unsubscribe. So just do it. Just subscribe. We're just gonna we haven't planned anything. We haven't talked to each other about this before. We're just gonna kind of vent about our raw, visceral feelings straight after this test. First thing I'm gonna bring up, because it'll make me feel a little bit better, is I'm gonna mention South Africa's bowling was amazing. They bowled incredibly well. And that's like a consolation for me because as bad as England's batting was, South Africa's bowling was amazing. And that attack of Ngidi, Rabada, Nortje, and Maharaj and Janssen is really quite exciting for them. And even when especially when I think that like Maharaj, he's keeping his place over Simon Harmer, who is amazing, and like he could absolutely tear through England. So it's pretty impressive. What are your first thoughts on this whole ordeal, Zach?
Well, I echo you in terms of South Africa's bowling. I mean, Kagiso Rabada is he's a highly skilled bowler. He doesn't offer you much with the bat, and he makes it really hard to score runs, but then he also bowls very tight lines at a good pace. And he's just a very good bowler. Probably one of the best in the world, if not the best fast bowler in world cricket across all formats. I'm sure other people might say maybe Jasprit Bumrah. So that's a bit of an argument to have in the comments. But yeah, Kagiso Rabada for me, he's doing really well. And England, I think England's batsmen struggled in good bowling conditions to really adapt to them, and which is a shame because as a Test match cricketer, you need to be able to adapt to the conditions, even if it's perfect bowling conditions and South Africa put you into bat. Being 55 for 4 isn't ideal. You can still hopefully get to lunch on like 60 and we've lost one wicket. That happens. And South Africa showed that because Dean Elgar and Avia looked very solid at the top of the order for South Africa. And I know that South Africa had their struggles in the middle order and lost a few wickets, but that opening partnership looked really settled. And I think they are kind of showing England that a bit of application isn't a bad thing from time to time. What's your thoughts on that? Because I know you're a bit like I like Bazball as it's called, but I don't know what you think about. Does it go too far sometimes?
I think yes, and I think it almost needs to. I think that's kind of what they're doing at the moment is kind of pushing it to its extremes, seeing because realistically, like the whole of Test cricket is about adapting. That's kind of the beauty of it. It's 5 days where you're literally having to think about tons of different factors, like how good people are in form, what the conditions are doing, ground conditions and like sky, air, everything. Like there's so many factors to it, and it's all about adapting to that. And I think Bazball, it's about positivity. It's not just going out there and bludgeoning everything. I think that's more what the media have said it is. And I
Yeah.
don't think that's what it is at all. I think it's about being
Uh,
positive. However, that has meant there have been some pretty shocking wickets. In the first innings, we had Alex Lees just waft at one outside off, and that was a terrible wicket. It was embarrassing, and yet it
yeah.
was um, it almost wasn't talked about as being a howler of a wicket because he was trying to be positive. But there's a difference between being positive in terms of like the difference is that now we will punish the bad ball. That's what being positive is. It's not letting the bad ball escape you. Like a couple of years ago, when we were opening with Dom Sibley and Rory Burns, the bad ball would be defended and the good ball would be defended. And that was kind of the mindset they were trying to go for. It was very negative,
Yeah.
which means that you'd end up with like Dom Sibley might get 30 at a strike rate of sort of 25-30, and it'd be absolutely grinding it out. But for this new positive mindset, this Bazball, you'd expect them to get 30 at a slightly higher strike rate, but
Yeah.
you are trying to capitalize on things. What we failed to do was respect the good ball. And I thought our openers, it's been a problem for years now. We just don't have openers that can really, impress on the game and really dig in. And I just want to compare like Lees and Crawley to Dean Elgar. I've liked Dean Elgar for quite a while now because he's a bit grumpy. He doesn't really smile. And I think, and he makes batting look like a really unpleasant activity a lot of the time,
Yeah.
which is what cricket's about. It's about being miserable for most of the time. But then when you get off and you've got more than 30 runs, you're like, oh, I'm brilliant here. And Dean
Yeah.
Elgar grinds out these scores of like 40s, 50s. And that's exactly what we need as an opener. Um, like he averages 39 overall after 77 test matches. So he's a good test batsman and he just grinds it out. And that ability to just dig your heels in and say, you know what? No, I'm not going out. I realize you guys are bowling well. And every bad ball you bowl, I'm going to punish it. But every good ball you bowl is not going to get me out.
Yeah.
And Lees and Crawley don't really have that. I think Lees has that ability more than Crawley at the moment. I think it's time for Crawley to have a rest. What's your opinion on that? The whole Crawley situation.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about Lees because I think Lees has the right mindset and the right temperament. He is that sort of player. When I watch him bat, he kind of reminds me a bit of Alistair Cook, in terms of the shots that he's got. And he's obviously not as good as Alistair Cook, I wouldn't say, but yeah, he just has that same sort of attitude. Whereas Zach Crawley, I don't know, it's just you just know he's going to fail. Like it's just I don't know. He's not got the mindset for it. I don't think he doesn't look settled at the crease, and you need that to settle the team. You need settled openers, which South Africa have. Um, I'm not really sure who to bring in, but yeah, I just don't think
Yeah.
Crawley. He needs time in county cricket to become a settled opener, and if opening's not the place for him, bat him at 3. I don't know. It's just I don't have faith in him at all because
Yeah.
he fails so often. And that's, yeah, you need to have faith in your openers. And I think that the application of the South African batsmen, they did a piece today, which showed that Dean Elgar, his forward press, like when he was playing on the front foot, he had such a big stride in to get to those balls, whereas Lees and Crawley were barely moving. They were stuck in the crease, and that's how you edge it to slip. That's how you get out. And
Mm.
they need to be more positive in their foot movement because you talk about Bazball and positivity. Dean Elgar was more positive than them, not through just swinging his arms, but through that commitment onto the front foot. You can defend positively. And I think that's the message that Dean Elgar has said. He said, we can still be positive and win this match. Were there any bright points for you from England from this performance?
I'd say yes. I'd say our bowling was actually quite good.
Mm.
Even though we got Bazballed a bit by Maharaj and Janssen,
Yeah.
who were like slapping it about. And you know what? Respect to it. I've got so much respect for tail enders or like bowling all rounders, whatever, that will just smack it around a bit and get on the opposition's nerves. And they did exactly what they needed to do. They got another sort of 70 odd run partnership that buried England.
It is a bit too often though for England at the moment.
It really
We've
is.
got the
Yeah.
worst record against the tail over the last however many years, which isn't
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's not great. But I would say, as far as bowling went, like there were wickets for everybody. I thought Stuart Broad bowled well at the tail enders. Ben Stokes provided breakthroughs because he is really good. And it's just always good to see Jimmy Anderson get a wicket at 40. Like he's so impressive. Even though it was a pretty dodgy wicket that he got. But you know, they all count. But I think that's almost where the positivity ends. Ollie Pope, like he got 73, but it was not a Chancellor 73. It was a cat on a hot tin roof kind of 73, a proper Ollie Pope 73, where he wants bat on the ball all the time, and he looks like getting out a lot. And I thought it was just quite lucky. Like, you know, 73 at test level is great, and I would love for him to get more of them. But I'm just saying it wasn't I almost wouldn't call it a glimmer of hope or anything, because it was not a secure 73. Other than that, I like seeing Stuart Broad smack it about. I think that's where it ends for me as an England fan. For South Africa, there are tons of bright points. So, you know, it was brilliant for them. I mean, their batting wasn't amazing, but yeah.
Well, I think their bowling attack is the thing that stands out, though, isn't it? And we spoke about it at the start. Like, I know Kagiso Rabada is a great bowler, and they have that reliability as the opening bowler. But then if you look at who else they've got, Lungi Ngidi provides the control. Anrik Nortje provides the express pace. You could just bowl, he'll just bowl 90 plus all day, won't he? And then Marco Jansen provides the really tall left arm sort of angle, which is difficult for any batsman. So yeah, they've got a really exciting bowling attack, and can't take anything away from South Africa. You can take a lot away from England. But yeah, all in all, poor from England, good from South Africa. And we go to the next test match. And I think England's mindset at the moment is good in that they kind of just, if they end up in this position, they just move on from it. They're not going to dwell on it, which I think is good at this stage, especially when they're trying a new thing. They're trying a different approach, and I think that it will take time. Yes.
I definitely don't think that we need to suddenly say, "Oh, England suck. We got lucky 4 tests in a row," and all that sort of stuff, because it was very fun to watch them before, and we knew this was going to happen. We knew that there were going to be games that we absolutely batter teams, and there were going to be games that we get battered, and that's kind of the nature of this new positive mindset. But what I don't want us to do is suddenly say, "Oh, this sucks. Let's go back to Sibley and Burns." Someone I would like to see get a test recall because of recent form in the county championship is Keaton Jennings. I think he's the one person I can think of that might do okay opening, basically.
Third time lucky, they say, so why not?
Yeah, just give it a go. And I think we need to figure out a way to get Harry Brook in this side, because he's too good. If he could be an opener, then that might be that might be the miracle we need. If him or Ben Duckett can just open for us, then sure, I'm open to it. But for now, it's
my batting average this season in Division 4 cricket is better than Zach Crawley's in Test cricket, so put me in.
That's what we need. Right, we're going to move on, and we're going to go to some Cricket Nerds questions. So the Cricket Nerds question that we've got is from I always forget how to pronounce this name.
PG?
Mugaresan Vivekanandan, I think is right.
Lovely. Yeah, that's
Um,
good.
I'm getting there. He said, if Matthew Mott, so this is on to white ball stuff now.
Okay.
If Matthew Mott said no players are guaranteed a place in the squad, then won't that hurt what Chris Silverwood has done so far? As you said, it's okay for players to make mistakes and play with freedom as they're not going to be dropped. Will this make players play in a bit more cautious way, hence not making them as dangerous as we know? No, is going to be my answer to that, because I think all the players that could be in the white ball side are getting, they're going to get in because they are smacking it at a high strike rate at an average of sort of 20 or 30. Think about like Phil Salt and Alex Hales, Will Jacks, Will Smead. That these are people that are smacking it about hard, and they're getting having innings of strike rate of 200. I think if a player wants to keep their space, they realize that they need to smack it around, and they need to not waste deliveries. I think wasting deliveries is how you're going to get dropped. So that's kind of my opinion on that. I don't know what you think, Zach.
I would go off the point which you made about Chris Silverwood, because Chris Silver was just not ruthless enough, and I think that was the issue. He gave people too many chances. It was too nice, and I think England would thrive off that ruthless sort of not if you play badly you get dropped and we just chop and change all the time. Not that, but if you're not performing and you're not good enough and there's someone better, you put the better player in. That's the way I see it. It's, I don't know, you see it a lot of club cricket where someone's played first team cricket and been good for 10 years and then they start dropping off, but they still play first team cricket because they've always played first team cricket. It's not how you should run it, really. If there's a better player, then put the better player in. And I think England's white ball squad is it's leagues ahead of where the test team's at, because the test team, we're struggling to find players, but the white ball team, there's so many talented openers in white ball cricket for England at the moment. So why not just give them a go? And I think that's what Matthew Motts is thinking at the moment. We've got so many good players. Why not? Right. That's all we've got time for. So thank you all so much for watching. Much appreciated. Make sure you like and comment, and let us know your thoughts on all the things that we've discussed today. We'd love to hear it. And remember to leave your Cricket Nerds questions as well, because we love answering them. Please follow us on social media. We're at Cricket Nerds Pod. Please tell all your friends about us, all your family. Just let everyone know, because that helps us out too. And we hope you've enjoyed, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.